Hello, what's up my people? This is your boy Kaka Janito USA, and today guys, I have a new video, and the new video today I want to tell you about the interview, the process in the interview when you go to the embassy, the US embassy, what happens from from the morning till the evening, and how you know you have been selected or you have failed or you have passed or the interview, and what happens on the interview, what are the questions that they ask. All these details I'm gonna be bringing, so keep it Kaka Janito USA. Welcome. Now today guys, I want us to discuss about the interview day and what happens in the interview at US embassy. What happens, what is required, what is the process, and how do I know I've won the green card, and how do I know that I'm now traveling to the USA, and how should I be prepared to go now to the USA. Welcome, and directly to it. Let me start with this. So this is what happened in the embassy. Now you've come, they check your documents, and now at the gate the guards check everything and they ensure that you have the appointment, you have all the documents with you, you have your passport with you, and now they check you, they frisk you, and everything is okay. That is the first entrance, and now you go to the next. At the first entrance they tell you if you have like a laptop, you have all these things, just know where you leave them, because if you leave them inside, you're gonna pay for them, and so you have to check and know where you're gonna leave all your belongings. The only thing you need to go with there is your wallet, your papers, and your phone. Don't have earphones and stuff. If you have them, just know where you're gonna leave them, because you cannot enter with all those devices inside there. I knew that thing on the gate and so it's tough because I remember I had something that I was supposed not to enter with. Man, I remember when I was asking some people where they left their earphones and stuff, and they told me the amount of money they paid for it, and I was like, ooh la la, it was a lot. So I had to hide mine, and I pray that it will not be it will not be detected when they are scanning, because I didn't have an option, man. So luckily they were not detected, so I just entered. Guys, be warned, I did not tell you to do these things. I just told you what things happen. So just ensure you don't have earphones, headphones, stuff like that. Just have your phone, your wallet, and your papers, and maybe your keys only. These are the rest things, don't carry them, a laptop and everything, because you'll have a burden of nowhere to confiscate them, and you'll have to pay for that. Okay, so after they check you, you go to that level. Now you go to the next level, now whereby you have to they have to frisk you very well. Now that's where you leave your phone, that's where you leave your keys, you remove your wallets, you remove your shoes, and take off your coat so that they can pass through the metal detector and everything, check everything, put everything on the slate so that they can check. Then they'll give you back your shoes, and they'll give you back your wallet and your keys, but they remain with the phone, because you cannot take pictures inside there at the embassy. Remember, that is now USA. Now, though for instance, for those in Kenya, the Nairobi embassy, you see it's in Kenya, but when you enter that place, that is a US territory embassy. That is a USA place. That is like America when you're in Kenya. And when I entered that place, I felt the presence of America, because I entered that place so cold, so calm, so peaceful, so quiet. The air was different. Oh man, and I felt, man, this feels like USA. So so when you enter that place, even for example, if you're in Accra in Ghana, or you're in Uganda, some people from Uganda, I see them coming to the Nairobi embassy. But when you enter to the embassy, you feel like, yes, this is different. So you don't go with your phone, you leave it there, because you don't have to take pictures and stuff, and some communication and stuff. So for the security purposes, you leave it there. So after that, after the second checking, now you go to the embassy with your envelope, with your documents. And remember guys, as I told you, you have to have your documents. The first document you will have is your 2NL. The second document you will have is the DS260 confirmation page. And the third document that you should be having is the letter, the one that shows you you slotted for your interview. So that letter that shows you that you slotted for your diversity lottery appointment, you should be having that letter. Something else, you should be having the 3 photo passports or 2 photo passports. And as we said, you know the requirements, you should be having that too. And then the next thing you should be having is your passport with you. That is another document that you should be carrying. Another document that you should be carrying is your high school certificate. Alright? Your high school certificate. If you're in Kenya, that is your KCSE certificate, not result slip, certificate. Then the next thing you should be having is your birth certificate. And the other thing you should be having is your police clearance certificate. Alright? So those are the documents that you should be carrying. And then other documents that you should be carrying includes your host or your sponsor's DL or green card. And also you should be having the affidavit of support. That is the form that we call I-134 form, which is the affidavit of support. The one that I told you I slept filling it up. That form, you should be having it because it shows that your host is able to support you financially. Alright? So you should be having that form, I-134. Another form that you should be having, and it is very, very, very much necessary, it is what we call the IRLS form. What is IRLS form? This is the tax transcripts for your host or your sponsor, because he might be your sponsor, he might not be your host. He might be your sponsor giving you the documents, then somebody else is hosting you physically. All right, so for the sponsor, you should be having that form, IRLS transcripts, which is tax transcripts, the tax transcripts that shows that the sponsor has been paying taxes in America. And these transcripts should be like for the previous year. For instance, you are a DV 2022 winner, like I was the DV 2022 winner. So I needed to have the most recent, that was like, because you're in 2022, I needed to have like for 2021. You see? But my host had not, like the sponsor who was to give me had not filed yet for the taxes, because I did not tell them that I needed the form. Because remember, as I was telling you, I was looking for a host. I had a very difficult moment, so I came to realize it late, and he could not like file and send me, so he had to give me the 2020. That's what I used instead of 2021, and God intervened. They accepted it even if it was like 2020. So for those people, like for the DV 2024, because they'll be doing it in 2023, they need the affidavit of support for 2022. All right, the most recent tax transcript. All right, so those are the forms that you need when you're going for the embassy for the interview. And also remember, if you have your children, if you have your wife, have their photos, have their birth certificates, and have their passports with them. All right? Yes. And if you are married, have your marriage certificate. All right? If it's possible, also have pictures for the, maybe if you had maybe a wedding or maybe a traditional ceremony, have them with you. Have all those backups. It's always good to be more than prepared than to be less prepared. As we say, the pillar number 2, have your documents, all your documents, all right? Then be backed up by the pillar number 3, which is be positive, and everything will go on. And the last thing that you should be having is money. Remember, we said you need money for the interview, and you need to pay before the interview starts. And for that, you need you need quite a lot of money, because you need like around $330. So $330, calculate according to the rate of your currency in your country. If in Kenya, that will be around 46,000. And if you're in other countries, just multiply with the currency of your country. All right? And that is not for the whole family. That is for each member of the family. So if you are around 5 members of the family, just multiply by 5, and you'll see you need like around, if you're in Kenya, you need around 231,000. That is for the whole family. And if you're in other countries, just multiply $330 times 5, then multiply by the currency of your country, and see the amount of money that you need for paying for your visa. So that is the money you need for your visa, and so be prepared. All right, so that's all the documents you need for your interview and for the interview day. That is all you'll be required. And of course, yourself being well represented, and dress nicely. Just be, you can be casual, you can wear a suit. For me, I was wearing a suit, of course, and I was just like, it's good to dress nicely. You're going for an interview, don't just wear a short and a t-shirt and just go there. You're going for the interview. Sometimes dress nice for your occasions. Dress nice, be nice, look nice. You can wear casually, but look nice. Impress. It's good. Impress. So even when you go there, you remember, when you wear nice and you look nice, even when you go for the interview, you have that what you call self-esteem. You can face it like, when you like with your positivity. Remember the pillar number 3, the positivity will come from the impression even of how you wear. If you don't just wear like that shagla bagla, you might not have even the confidence to face the interviewer. So be dressed nice and show up for the occasion very early, like 1 hour earlier, and that's gonna be okay. So those are the documents that you need. And now let me tell you what happens when you go inside. So when you go inside, there's a lady who is always outside having like a desk of something, receives you, and yeah, that's where you get like a ticket number. Like for me, I remember my ticket number was 437. That was the ticket number. It doesn't mean that there were 407 people ahead of me, but that was the ticket number that I was using. And as you can see on this is written, that is my 2NL. I wrote it there. It was, so my ticket number was 437. I had it, by the way. I just lost it the other day. I just threw it the other day, because I had kept all the documents with me. I had even the documents of showing my transaction. Let me see if I have. Let me check if I have those documents still. Because for me, I usually keep everything. And for me, before I lose anything, oh man, you see, I have like this, the director of criminal investigation in my country. I still have my copy of the police clearance certificate. I still have all my documents with me, so let me check. Yeah, let me check, because I think I had it. I had kept it, because I can see I even have my traveling document. This is like what you call it, traveling ticket with me. I still have it. You see, both of them. I told you I keep my documents. I really keep my documents. So guys, you should have your documents with you, and those are the documents that you need. So when you give this lady, she gives you the ticket number, in which you should go inside, and remember, you have to pay first for the visa so that you can be called for the interview. As I told you, you show her your documents, she gives you the ticket number, then you sit down. There's some places where you sit down, and in this case, remember, we have also American citizens also coming for services in the same place. So they are given the first priority. The American citizens are given the first priority. Then the immigrants who are seeking for the visas and visas, they will be the next people to go. So most of the time, you'll see a lot of American citizens coming and going fast before the immigrants, because they have the first priority. That is their embassy, and that is like their country, you know, because remember, as I told you, when you enter to the embassy, it's you're like in the US. So I was waiting there, and I had some friends with me. I was talking with them, and these two ladies we were talking with them, and they were telling me about themselves and everything. And I remember sharing with one of them, I told them that by the way, me, I had issues with hosting and getting the documents, and I had to fill this for myself. She was like, what? And did you sign with a pen? I said, yes. She told me, okay, you better go and get a photocopy, because man, if you get these documents and they see and like you signed and the host is still in the USA, it's not here in Kenya, it will be a problem for you. So I had to like go outside and print out. And to cut the story short, I said it in my story, I had to, you know, go outside and do this thing. And I remember meeting a border guy outside there, and he was like, I told him, you know what, I was dressed in my suit and I did not check out at the first security place. I just check out at the gate because I didn't want to, you know, waste time, because my ticket could have been called anytime. So I went outside, met two guys talking, and with this border guy, I told them I need a place to photocopy this, and I don't have money. Please give me something. And I was wearing a suit, and I was so clean, because remember, the money that I had was for my visa, and I will not, you know, try to mess up. So this guy gave me a brand new 50 shillings note. I went and he called a guy, and the guy told me, go and show this guy where he can photocopy. So I went photocopied and came back, and to cut my story short, I waited until my number was called. I entered inside, and this when I saw now the booths where people are being interviewed. And I was like, okay, these are the windows where people get interviewed. All right, now I knew. Then I went to the last window, whereby I was received by another, like a Somali lady. And she greeted me, we talked, and she was so good. I talked to this lady and started telling her, she was checking out my documents. I started telling her, oh, man, I had a very rough time finding a host and stuff, you know, people promising you and leaving you at the end of it all. And start talking to her like that, just telling her my story and everything. And she was like, man, people are always bad, it's always tough for this. And I told her, yeah, but I thank God, you know, it has come to this point and I'm here, and I'm just positive that it's gonna be okay. So she told me, we talked, and she asked me, okay, are you still having the first host that you had put in your application? I told her, no, I'm changing, because I now have another host. Then I gave the person who gave me the documents, my host then was from Seattle, who gave me the documents, and I thank him so much, because well, if it was not for the documents, man, I don't know what I could have done. So he gave me, so he was written there, and everything, the details and stuff was given there. And now after that, after submitting the documents, she told me, go and pay to the cashier. I went there. Now this, in the embassy, you don't pay via the phone, you don't pay via the bank, you have to have the money in cash. So if you're a family of 5, we say it's around 230,000 or 240,000, you have to have it in cash. You have to pay it in cash. So I paid it, and it was around 42,200. That's what around the amount that I paid by that time. So after paying that, now I stepped outside and now waited for my time to be called for the interview. And so I went outside and I was waiting. I remember there was this guy in the window 7, and I had him calling people for the interview, and I said, oh man, this guy is like having a good side. I just want this guy to interview me. And I just told God, you know, God, why will just let this guy interview me, because this guy is a good vibe, and I know, and I feel like if he interviews me, this will be a good time, and a time for me to get my visa and travel to the USA and my dream come true. And as I was waiting, I was with these other ladies, and I told them, you know what, if you hear me, my name being called, and you see me go inside and come outside smiling, just know I got the visa. If you see me frowning, just know I got denied. But that one will not be one of my expectation, because I'm positive and I believe I'm gonna get this visa. So expect a smile and expect me to come and give you a positive challenge for you also to wait for you. And so I was called before these friends of mine, so and I entered inside. I was a bit tensed at the moment when I heard my name, but I composed myself and I said, man, it is the time for my God to fight for me. So I entered inside and I went to window 7, and I found this gentleman, and he was a white man. He was like around 26, 28 there. He was just my age mate. So this guy said, are you John? I said, yeah. I said, okay, raise your hand and say that all these things that I'm gonna ask you, you're gonna answer them correctly, truthfully, and that you swear. And I said, yes, I do. And he started asking the questions, and he asked the questions. He asked me all the questions. Are you married? Are you in a relationship? Of which I said yes. Are you in a relationship that can lead to marriage? I said yes. And he asked me the question, asked me about the lady, asked me about the name, the mother's name, the father's name, where we met, how long we have dated and stuff. And I answered all these things correctly. And he asked me about my occupation, and I said, and he asked me, are you still doing the same occupation that you are doing? I said, yes, I'm still into interior design, majoring in painting and decoration. And he asked me, do you know anybody in the US? And I said, yes, I do. And he asked me, who do you know? And I said my host name by then. I said his name, and I said, okay, so where do you know in US? And I said, that time was Washington, and said Washington. And I said, all right. He said, John, I'm gonna give you this green paper, blah blah blah. By the time he was talking like that, the green paper, by the way, it looks like this. It looks like that. That is the green paper. The green paper looks like that. So that's the green paper. It's basically have a congratulation message to show you that you've passed the process and you have qualified to get the green card, and that now. So this guy just gave me my documents back, and he said, okay, we are going to remain with your passport so that you can put your visa into it, and we're gonna get it in the next one day. So I left my passport, and I moved out of that place happy, smiling, and I went back to my guys and with this green paper, and I told them, you know what, guys, as I told you, God has done it for me, and I got a green card. That's what I told them. And they were so happy, they congratulated me. And later I realized one of them was, we were in the same the same group, WhatsApp group, and I remember hearing that they also got the green card. So I think the wife was the one who was given an AP, or the husband, one of them, but maybe later it was solved, because after all, if one has the green card, that is good. So that was it. And something that I forgot, when I was outside, after I was given the ticket number, there were some papers that we were given. One of them looks like this. Looks like that. It says, welcome to the United States, a guide for the new immigrants, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service. Guys, when I got this, I felt like I'm in America. And then I was given another one that says, know your rights. When I got these two documents and I start reading these documents, welcome to the United States, getting settled in the United States, how to get the guide, your rights and responsibilities, man, I was just affirming myself and telling myself, America, here I come. America, here I come. America, here I come. And then at the end of it all, after I went to the interview, it went through, I passed, and I got the visa. And But then after one day, the next day, I got the DHL had received my passport with the yellow paper. And as I told you, the yellow paper is the paper that you should not. Okay, it comes like in a big envelope, and in the big envelope, you tear it first. They show you where you tear it so that you can get your passport out, and inside the big envelope, that's where you get the yellow paper. And on top of the yellow paper, on the top, they have a small paper sticked on it that shows has your photo and your description, names and case number and that. Then inside there's those documents that you need to come with them in America and give them at the entry port, that you give them at the entry port. And this is where I was supposed to change my host details. Remember, I told you guys I was supposed to change my host detail because I didn't go to Seattle. I came to Texas and I forgot to change. That's why my documents were sent to Seattle. But later, my sponsor, who was my host by then, was supposed to be my host by then, sent the documents to my other host in Texas. And that's how I landed in Texas, and that's all you needed to know about the green card. So keep it Kaka Jonito, more is coming. Ask all the questions you ask, and I have been answering all the questions that you guys are asking. I've been answering you back through these videos, and that's why it takes me for some time to compose all these videos and to compose all these questions together, compile them together so that I can bring these videos to you and so that you can get this information. So it's your boy Kaka Jonito USA. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for liking these videos, and thank you for sharing, and thank you for commenting, and God bless you even for watching this video. Keep it Kaka Jonito. God bless you. Adios. Bye.